Well, hot damn, look who it is. Very nice for you to join us today. Now we can get started. My God, I'm looking a little crazy. So today was quite the unusual day trading. We had 3 trades and it was just a little bit messy. I mean, in the live there you are. In the live stream, you guys absolutely dominated it. Some of you guys had some really, really nice trades. I just wasn't really feeling it this morning. And sometimes as a trader, you just have to know your positions, you have to know your strategy, your setups, and if you don't see them, it's totally fine with not trading. And that's really, I was just looking at the wrong camera or the wrong screen. And today was one of those days for me. I just didn't see the setups I wanted to see. So I decided to take this morning a little bit slower, and you guys probably noticed that on the live stream. And then, today it was just so slow all day long. And, sometimes you're gonna have these slow days. We still had 3 trades and all of them were green, but none of them were really that big of a winner. And I kind of knew that that was going to be the case. I was like, okay, nothing's really ripping as hard as I want, especially with my kind of setups. So I'm going to be a little bit more calm, and I'm probably going to take all of my profits really, really quickly. Typically, I like to take profits around 5 to 10%. And, all of my profits today were under 5%. Which is still fine. Once we're trading with $10,000 position sizes, I think cumulatively I was about 6 or 7% today in profits. So, that would have been a $700 day, which isn't, anything super amazing, but it's definitely enough to pay the bills. So today I want to talk a little bit about how important it is to wait for your setup. I know we all trade different setups. We all trade different strategies. You guys know that I'm more of a pullback and I like to look for support. Some of you guys are just killers at breakouts. So everyone has a different style, but it's important understanding your style and then just, waiting for that. There was one trade specifically today where I don't even know on my trade journal what I should call the pattern, because there wasn't really any pattern besides like a flash pullback, and that's where I entered. But the overall pattern was just not there. So I want to talk a little bit about why I should have left that trade and exactly what happened just, 15 minutes later that could have landed me a 7, 10, 12% profit trade if I just waited for my setup. So overall, okay day, but it could have been much, much better, even though it was kind of a slow day overall in the markets. If I just was even more patient, but we're getting close to noon, and I was like, oh man, you know what? Here's a little opportunity. I'm going to jump on it. So you just got to watch out, and you don't want to get stuck in one of those positions. Trading's really not that hard of a thing. Anyone could just, open an account, put money in it, and buy a stock, right? The hard part becomes when you want to consistently do something over and over again. And, every day the markets are different. There's no clear signs to trading. So you have to really understand yourself. And at one point, trading just becomes a really big psychological battle with yourself. And that's actually what makes it really, really fun, because you learn so much about yourself. And, after how many years have I been trading now? I don't know. I think I'm getting pretty close to my 5th or 6th year. I would say I've only been trading though, like seriously, about 3 years, and then maybe unseriously, maybe like 2, 3, even 4 or 5 years. I've been doing it ever since high school. So actually, you could say, what was that? I graduated in 2011. So many years looking at the market, but just being involved in the markets and actually day trading for a living are just 2 totally different things. So I don't really want to, mish them together that much. But once you understand your personality, once you understand, you don't have to look all over the place. Yes, there's like 1,001, actually there's probably like 1,000,001 different strategies with trading, and not just strategies, but there's Forex, there's commodities, there's equities, there's crypto. And then there's options, you have derivatives on all of that stuff. So the possibilities are endless with trading. And it's really easy to get in that habit of, thinking, the grass is always greener on the other side. But once you get out of that, once you eliminate all the noise around you and you really focus on yourself, growing yourself as a trader, and just getting really, really consistent and honing down on a few strategies, even if it's just one, or maybe I would probably say 1, 2, or 3. It's kind of nice to have a few in the belt, but then, everyone has their like one go-to thing. And just like Ross Cameron, he's a phenomenal breakout trader, and he trades small cap breakouts. At least that's what he shares on YouTube, and he makes millions off of just that one strategy. So it's really, really important just to have your one thing. Whew, getting a little stiff on this couch. Bruce Lee actually has a really good quote, and I'll post it here somewhere because I don't want to butcher it too much, but basically it goes like, I fear not the man or fear not the man that has practiced 10,000 kicks once, fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. I hope I got that right. And the same is true with trading. My best pattern, I'm right over 80% of the time. I have a video on that here, or exactly 80%. It's super weird. But then my overall trading is about 64% right now with stocks, and actually just about the same with my crypto trading. So a 64% success ratio isn't really too bad, but you can see if I just focused on that one pattern, I would have a much higher overall success rate. And there's nothing wrong with always trying new things. And sometimes, you find something new that you can really add to your repertoire, and that will also make you much, much better. But, you have to understand, if you try 1,000 different things, you're just gonna lose a lot of money. And that's why in this $25,000 challenge, I'm super strict with only trading the market open for the first 30 minutes, the gap and go strategy, and then for the next 1 to 2-3 hours, basically only till noon Eastern Standard Time, I'm done trading. So I only trade the morning, really no more than 2.5 hours trading per day. So just getting really, really good at trading small caps in the morning with my support line bounce strategy is one of my favorite things. I'm trying to get better at breakouts, because breakouts, you can grow your account a lot faster. But I feel like that will always be kind of my second strategy. My first one will always be looking for those, reversals, big support areas. And everyone is going to be different. That's just a super important part. Don't try to copy any other real trader. Maybe get some ideas from them and change those ideas depending on your style. But just know everyone's going to be different, and you really just have to find yourself and figure out what works best for you. All right, enough rambling from me. Let's go to the charts. But first, don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoy this content. And if you are new here, consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon too, so you get notifications on future videos. We go live every day the market is open, and we go over our watch list and we trade for 30 minutes. So 45-minute live stream in the morning. You guys can see everything there that I do live, and then I do a recap video. And I'm going to be doing this for at least till the $25,000 challenge is complete, and then we'll see. I'll definitely switch up a few things, but for now, that's the plan. To the charts. Alrighty, tidy. Here you can see the 3 trades we did today. And remember, guys, we're doing small position sizes right now because we're still growing our account from $4,000. Right now, it's at $5,400. So pretty nice growth so far, but we're still under kind of the $1,000 position sizes for a little bit. So you can see on the P&L, we made 1%, 4%, and then 2%, which is not too bad. I mean, overall, that's basically a 7% growth day based on our position size, our general position size. So, pretty nice. We ended the day with about $62 in profit. Here you can see all the trades and individually what's been going on. And if you just scroll up, we've been having a pretty consistent month so far. We've had, a few nice winners, 9%, 7%, and just, no major losers, which is really, really nice. Occasionally 4%, 1%. We only had one red day this month, actually, which is super, super cool. You can see that was on Wednesday the 15th last week. So, pretty nice month overall. We're up $908 this month, and our chart is looking pretty nice so far. So this was a really nice month in January. And again, if you guys are totally new here, this was October before we started the challenge, and I was just holding a few positions overnight and doing a bunch of weird stuff. I don't really know why I counted it towards the $25,000 challenge, but I was just kind of setting up the trade journal at the time. So there you have it. That's why I don't hold overnight, especially these over these small caps. So, we started the challenge in November, which is just right around here. A little bit past this. So right around here is when we actually started the challenge. And, that's when I defined, okay, these are the exact setups that we're looking for. These are the rules we're going to follow. And ever since then, it's been pretty smooth sailing, except we did have this really big dip right around here. We had this like what was it, like a 15% loss, just like that. It was some really messy pre-market trading that I did that I typically never do. So I'm, now I'm super on the fence with pre-market trading as well. But, I think pre-market has tons of opportunity. but right now I'm kind of staying, a little shying away from it just a little bit. But I think we will do pre-market trading a little bit more down the road, 100%. So let's talk about these bad boys. The first trade we did was GNPX at 442, and if my calculations are right, that's 10:42 Eastern Standard Time, which is it 10:42? Market opens at 9:30, so about an hour, 12 minutes after the market opened. And let's go to GNPX right now. Oh, was GNPX really the first trade I did today? That's a weird feeling. I honestly feel like this was not the first trade I did today. Anyway, I guess it was. Kind of like some crazy little deja vu. I think I've been looking at the computer too long today. So GNPX, now this is the one that on our trade journal, you probably remember seeing that I had this little NA there because honestly, there wasn't really a pattern that I was trading. This is kind of ridiculous. Here's big resistance over here. I was looking for a breakout of this resistance, I guess you can say. And all I did was put a limit order here, looking for a quick pullback before we break out. But this is nothing like, there is no longer term pattern I'm trading here. There's no 5-minute setup. There's nothing. There's just big resistance above. I honestly don't even know why I did this. And after I entered the trade, I realized that. I was like, wait, what am I doing? And I think it was because it was such a slow day that I was like almost ready to trade anything. And I just got out. Honestly, it bounced up. I got out of this trade. And I even remember when we had this pullback, the pullback was happening and I was like, wait, what am I doing? I don't even really want this trade. And I go to move my limit order away. I should have just said cancel all because I had auto send on. But boom, I already got an entry. Luckily, it wasn't that bad. And honestly, if I could have even probably pulled out a nice little 4% profit on this one. But you just got to really watch out. This is the trade I was talking about earlier, where I was just it was just messy. I don't know what I was doing. I just really wanted to trade GNPX. It was one of the top movers today, and I kind of forced this trade. So. Yeah, I don't know. I should have been much more patient. The other trade that we did today, OSS. Now this one actually had a pretty decent setup. 43 million market cap, 16 million shares outstanding, while GNPX was 33 million market cap, 19 million shares outstanding. Both of these have okay dollar volume. Obviously GNPX $51 million volume is much nicer. OSS at $10.6 million volume right now. This one though, this is picture perfect trade. So if we quickly go to the long-term chart, you'll see big support in this area that kind of starts right around here that turns into resistance. So let me just zoom in a little bit. So here you can see the support holding this price up a little bit, and then boom, we crash under it. Guess what? This crash eventually goes back, touches this former support, and which is now resistance. We did break out of this area for a short period of time, but it was very not long-lived. Again, we tried to break out here, failed. And then boom, we had a nice little rally here and we came all the way up to this area. And guess where we get rejected again at 2.59. We break up this, now this resistance becomes support, yada yada. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but you get the idea. So now we break out of this area and guess what? We pull back to 2.6 area. And guess who's waiting? I am with my limit order. And we pull back really nicely. We have a bounce here, really good bounce, 16% bounce. I typically don't trade the second bounce off of support lines, but I did on this one. You can see the second one, and this is exactly why. The second one was just not that strong. And it was such a slow mover. I was watching this just like, oh my God, my eyes are about to fall out of my head. Like I love trading, but these slow ones really get me on edge sometimes because I like to be in and out of trades in 2, 3, 4 minutes. I think my longest trade in this whole challenge was 4 hours, and that trade, that was miserable. I don't want to do that again. Anyway, we find some big support here. I entered the trade, maybe like it was like 1% too early. I was really waiting for a bigger crash down. We had really nice selling volume here. You can see on the 5-minute chart, we had a nice little pickup. I love selling right after the volume picks up a little bit. And here you can see it as well. Volume picked up, big buyers coming in though. And I was like, I think we're going to miss this one because I was waiting for this trade for so long. And then of course the next candle was actually the one that the volume really picked up on. I was like, okay, well, I made that mistake. Luckily, we didn't crash here. 259 was kind of the bottom. Then we ran up a nice 5%, pulled back. I was a little shaky in this area. I was like, oh no, I don't know if it's going to break out a second time, but then we got it, and I got a near perfect exit here at 2.74 just because, we had big shoulder here, and I just didn't want to be part of it any longer. We did hold our highs, and, this thing ran up 6% from the bottom. So could have been an even better trade, but I'm not trying to really guess the market. I'm trying to take my really calculated risk reward and just move on. What happens basically after this is just a massive gamble in my head. Even honestly at what happens after this, like it's a pretty sure thing that there's going to be a bounce here if this support holds. So by the time you're in this area, it's probably going to keep going till maybe a shoulder. So, up to here, I think it was fairly calculated. After that, like coming back to VWAP, it's shaky. You don't really know. Not to mention, this is a low volume stock. There wasn't that much attention. And a lot of times when these things, hit support once or twice, they'll break it eventually and they will just go down to Neverland. And I just don't want to be part of that. So I'll take my profits and move on. And you can see this thing's kind of fickling away right here. I don't really know what's going to happen to it. I honestly just don't really care. Next one is NTRP. Let's quickly check out this bad boy. NTRP was a fun one today. Honestly, this thing was ripping in all directions. And some of you guys today in the chat were just slaying this one. I was just so not on board with it. We had one really nice flag pattern here pre-market. Today was a pre-market day. Like everything happened pre-market. And then the second the market opened, it was just like, nothing really super exciting. Flag pattern here, second flag pattern. So we already have 1, 2, nice pull up here, 40% rally. Whew, just ridiculous how much energy this thing had. We missed this move. We were all watching this one. And 1 minute happened here, second minute, this was all in 4 minutes. That's 10% return per minute. So yeah, it runs up 40%. I missed this whole move. I just don't feel comfortable getting in anymore. We're at the third bull flag, pulling back a little bit here with the EMA and the 15 minute exponential moving average kind of coming in as support. This thing bounced up again, 24%. I was just so on edge trading it because we have this massive 180-day moving average coming in here as resistance. We have massive resistance here at 3.4. I mean, you can see here that we just didn't break past this 3.4 area. We did for a little bit. It went to 3.88, but we just didn't hold anything. Again, I was just really, really cautious with this area. Not to mention, we're in a massive gap up zone. These gap up zones are very, very dangerous in terms of, everyone that has leftover limit orders are trying to get out. And so I just didn't really feel comfortable trading something that's already broken up so much. I mean, this thing was moving quite a lot, 132%. And the dollar volume wasn't really amazing at the time. So I was a little bit cautious with this one. And I was looking for a bigger pullback back to, 2.5, something where this breakout happened here. I love those former breakout zones. We never really got it. I kind of missed this whole entire move back to the upside, which was a little sad because this was a really nice run, 30%. And then eventually, last trade of the day, we have a pullback back to the support zone near 3.4. We crack it with the biggest volume here, the second volume candle, not too much excitement. I should have got on at this one. I remember watching it. I pulled back my limit order a little bit more because you never really know. It's never an exact science. It'll happen 3, 4, 5 times in a row, and then one of them will just crack them entirely. You just don't want to be on the wrong side. So sometimes I get really, really conservative. And then you can see here, as we decided to really kind of hold this area, that's when I kind of forced the entry a little bit. I bought on the ask. So as you can see here, there's people selling, let's say at 315. I basically just went ahead and bought into those sellers, which wasn't the best entry, but allowed me to get in before this nice little green move. And then I quickly took my profits here. It just, it wasn't the biggest move overall. If I got a perfect entry and a perfect exit, that's maybe closer to like 8% or something like that. I didn't have it perfectly clicked on, but so it wasn't, the best trading day. I missed a lot of moves, and then I don't know. What do I say? I should have been a little bit more patient, especially, this one, again, really, really nice move. And you can see here, the volume is much different on this one. So here, big selling volume, and then big buying volume already comes in. So it's, it's always going to be different. But you definitely notice some patterns every now and then. So, that's what I like to look for. To me, the morning open, the gap and go strategy, trading the breakouts is what I really wanted to focus on. And I missed this really nice breakout here. I should have noticed that here we're forming a nice flag pattern. We had a nice 1 minute candle move to the upside, big volume coming in, barely a pullback. I should have forced an entry, especially as we broke past the 2.55. And then, rode this, the rest 20%. I probably would have got out at 10%, maybe 15% if I was really aggressive, but that was the trade of the day, and we kind of missed it. And after we missed this trade of the day, I was just kind of like, I don't really know. NTRP wasn't really on my top 3 on my watch list, and that's, I think, a big reason on why I missed that one to begin with. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up there. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. I will see you guys then again to trade the market open tomorrow. Till then, stay safe and make some awesome trades. Ciao, ciao, guys.